Welcome, my fellow operatives. My name is Taft Taylor. You might know me as the Nemesis James Taylor, and this is the next and newest episode, a very special episode of the Nemesis Sessions. And today, I've got the pleasure of interviewing.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'll go ahead and do that part. We don't need you messing up or putting any shame on my name. You know what I'm saying? Who you have right now on your screen is the 8-time, I'll say that again, the 8-time world heavyweight champion of ESW Shockwave, the biggest and the baddest backyard wrestling that there has ever been. And my name is actually my actual name because I don't have to, put on any airs. I don't have to put on any fronts like this jabroni right here. I am who I am, and who I am is the sinner, the killer, and the goddamn hellraiser.
Damn right. It's Austen G, ladies and gentlemen. Austen G. And you know what? It's an honor, sir. I'm glad that you brought your 8-time world championship self to the Nemesis Sessions because this is your show and you're here for the audience, the ESW universe, the backyard wrestling universe. What's been going on, man? I saw your match with Prodigy a couple of months back on that Shockwave when you won that title in a very twisted fashion. Can you tell us about that?
Well, there was nothing twisted about it, okay? Let me just say that right now. The match was going to go one way and one way only, no matter what would have happened at the end there. Austen G, no matter what, was going to walk out victorious. Austen G, no matter what, was going to walk out the 8-time world heavyweight champion. And I know that for a fact. Okay, so my brother wanted to come in and make his presence known and a return. Well, that's on him. Maybe it was planned, maybe it wasn't, but all I got to say is that match right there was definitely one for the books. That match right there was definitely a legendary, iconic match, and that is definitely a match that I would love to have again, But that match right there, really solidified what's to come for Season 8. We got Jacob Prodigy, who I'm sure did not take that lightly. We got someone who's on the hunt for my ESW Shockwave World Heavyweight Championship. We got Season 8 coming. That's in a brand new location, in a bigger, wider spread location that's going to bring much more pleasure to the eyes of the beholder and the eyes of the viewership. And it's going to be a luxurious feel to be there. And I got to say, the gears have already been rolling. And we're ready to bring it to you. We're ready to kick it hard and whoop some candy ass. But let me just say this. That match with Jacob, Prodigy, and I was definitely one of my favorites of all time. And I've been wrestling since 2008. So that says a lot. How do you honestly feel about that match there?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And the fact that you've been wrestling as long as you have, that goes a long way. And, of course, your skill level just goes up the ladder every single year. You get better and better and better. It's kind of like fine wine. I can relate to that. I've been wrestling on and off since 99. Looks like you've been doing it more full time. So that I applaud you, sir. Good stuff. And I actually got a few comments. Some fans are in here. You got Atomic Titan from TBW saying, "What's up, James and Austen G?" And he actually has a question for you, sir. ESW is the first company in the yard with a ring, to my knowledge. Do you take responsibility for what backyard wrestling has become today as it evolved?
Backyard wrestling, it started off hot, when the internet really started to come to life. You see people jumping off the houses. You see the craziness literally in the backyard on mattresses, on just a straight up floor. Then you fast forward to 2007, 2008, 2009 when ESW, with what really saved us, what really got us, the uproar that we had was those recaps. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the ESW classic recaps from the old days, but some of those bad boys have just hundreds of thousands of views on them. They're hot, and that definitely put a lot of attention on us. But yeah, so to my knowledge, I do believe that ESW Shockwave is the first to ever have an actual wrestling ring, and it was not easy to obtain. It was not easy. It was not just we woke up one day and there's a wrestling ring in the backyard. No. There was tears that were shed. There was blood that was dripping. I mean, we went all 9 yards to ensure that. I mean, they're not cheap. You know,
Nice.
so it wasn't a 10. We paid hard, good money for it, and we got it. And I definitely believe that it shaped backyard wrestling in a whole new type of way, specifically for the fact that maybe some people want to say that maybe we kind of toned it down a little on the extreme. Not every single match was as deadly as they used to be, but we were able to add so much more entertainment. We were able to add so much more types of matches that you could never even think of. I mean, at least that requires a wrestling ring, you know? So I do believe that ESW definitely shaped backyard wrestling for what it is today. And, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be successful without us, you know, because there's so many companies out there. There's so many businesses out there that are doing things right. I'm telling you that right now. There's many backyard wrestling fans on YouTube and on the internet world that are doing things right. It's just ESW just happens to be a big name, and I'm proud of it.
And HCW Backyard saying Austen G is legit. And you know, that goes a long way. I haven't watched a lot of ESW, but I have seen some clips and stuff from those older days. And I went back actually today and watched a few clips of them. And yeah, the brutality back then, that was a whole different level. And I know about that as well back from the early 2000s because we had the light tubes, wrestling on the ground, taking the bumps. I watched that match you had with your brother, dude, when you were in front of that crowd. They had the silly string everywhere. And all the bumps, you were taking flat ass bumps, solid ground, perfectly executed like it was a ring. And that I admire because I've done that myself. And it's like if you can start out taking bumps on the ground, a ring ain't nothing to you when you're in it, is it?
No,
I'm
that's
sure
right.
you can relate to that.
That is absolutely right. You know, it's so much of a luxury to be inside of a ring, you know, especially when you know what it's like to wrestle on that ground, that unforgiving ground. There's no give. Sometimes you might not hit a rock. You know, you got to watch out for ants. You got to watch out for stickers. You know, there's so many on the ground alone that can really bust your ass. But, you know, that also takes me to another point. You know, you can't wrestle on the floor forever.
No.
You know, started wrestling, you know, in backyard wrestling at 12 years old. And it was, in a sense, it could have done so much more damage to me in the long run because it was during my puberty. It was during my age of growth and growing. And who knows what really those light tubes and that mercury and the thumbtacks, the barbed wire, the ground, the bumps, who knows how much that really stunted my growth. I don't know. I am perfectly fine. Out of my 17 years of wrestling, I have never had an injury. 17 years of wrestling, I have never broken a bone. I may have had some pretty good gashes, some pretty good slices. I mean, like the weed whacker or just light tubes in general. But that doesn't mean that I'm not out there again the next week and kicking ass. No. You know, so I've been blessed enough to just do things correctly and know your limits. Always know your limit. Backyard wrestling is cool and everyone has their own limits, but you need to know yours and respect yours and respect other people's limits as well. And learning how to execute things is very, very, very important.
You're absolutely correct on that. And that I can totally relate to, dude. I mean, I even at my age, I know it might sound funny, 39 years old, I'll be 40 in April, but I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this because I love it and I have the passion for it. And I've been talking about that for the past couple of weeks. You can look at that later if you want, but I know exactly where you're coming from. You got the passion for it. You got the heart for it. And nothing's going to stop you from doing what you want to do and what you do best. And that's perform inside that ring and kick ass. So let's go ahead and kind of jump the gun a little bit. We got a lot of comments here, but we'll get to them in just a second. But I want to ask you, Mr. G, what is the future of ESW? I know that you're just coming off a new season or an old season into a new one, and you're saying everything's getting broadened out. What's next for ESW and Austen G?
Well, if you want to know what the honest truth is, my friend, if you really want to know what the future entails for ESW Shockwave Season 8 and for all the fans, all the viewers that are watching right here, right now, and for the thousands of viewers that are going to be watching and subscribe to the channel, the future of ESW Shockwave is right here, right in front of you. And I don't mean that in any cocky way. You probably think I'm cocky. You probably think that I'm an egotistical asshole, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But at the end of the night, at the end of the day, there is no one who works harder, who looks better, who can talk as well as I do, and who can outperform me in that ring in ESW today. And that goes without saying that when you're looking at the roster and the individuals that we have, from the Doctor to Jacob Prodigy, to Jake Jordan, to even the Hardcore Kid, I am the champion for a reason. So when you want to look at what's to come for season 8, man, like I said just a few minutes ago, brand new location, brand new yard. ESW Shockwave went from blue, but we just turned red, baby. We are down to that red lightning. We switched it up a notch, okay? And let's see what else is to come. We got guys who want to chase for the gold, and I don't want to give too many spoilers or anything, but from what I, decide, because I am partial sole owner of this business, I'm thinking that we might have a little Extreme Rumble this season.
Ooh,
and
Extreme.
sure if we're going to open hot that way or if we're going to close that way. But I'm thinking either way, as long as every single guy can stay motivated on my roster, as long as all of my guys can have that same motive, as if they're in that match, they have a chance to win it and to go against me. And going against me should mean more than just holding the title, if I'm being 100% honest. I would expect and I would hope that these guys on the roster, or any guy in any backyard wrestling fan ever, would absolutely love to get in the ring with Austen G. And I'm hoping that as the season progresses and I constantly defend the championship, because I plan on defending this title every single episode. I promise you that. And by the end of the season, as I'm still champion, I'm hoping that everyone is willing to put in that work and to jump in that ring, and for that Extreme Rumble match, win it and go against me.
Dude, that's admirable for sure. And I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say that I'd want to come down there one day, maybe this year, who knows, and have a match with you. I don't have to have no titles, just to be in the ring with you, veteran to veteran. I think that would be really interesting and really cool to see. Maybe, who knows, one day. But I got Omen Black, the boogeyman of the Midwest. He says, "Greetings, Taffy, my friend, and Austen G." He's up there in IMF, up there in Iowa. They've got an indie/backyard company. They're growing a little bit at a pretty fast rate. I met these guys last year, but he's really into death matches and stuff. Big guy. If you're interested in it, I'll send you a link to their thing, but they got some pretty cool stuff. Atomic Titan. He says, "Do you think the Shockwave era is the best era of ESW?"
That's a tough question. And of course, the answer is going to be different for anyone you ask. The answer will be different for any fan, for any competitor. It's very subjective. But the way that I see it is it's the same company, but it's a different breed. We got different wrestlers, different competitors that we did in the backyard days. Rather, some were more motivated than the ones in the past, or rather the ones in the past were a little more extreme and motivated then. You got to remember, the backyard days, everybody was in high school. Everybody was just a teenager. No one really had a job. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take whatever I got to take because I'm good. I get to miss a couple days of school. Great. Now it's like, I need to watch what I do. I need to watch what I take because I got family to go to tonight, and I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about some of the individuals, It's kind of like when WWE turned PG, different. It's no longer that raunchy, bloody, gory, seeing tits and ass. Like, it's not like that anymore, but it's still WWE. That's like somebody saying today's WWE is better than the Attitude Era. Or do some people think the Attitude Era is better than today's generation of WWE? It's subjective. But if you're going to ask me personally, I prefer the look, the look of being in a ring. I've had to swallow a pill recently and understand the fact that we could either be the top of the line backyard wrestling, or we could be the bottom of the barrel of an independent wrestling. We can be indie. We can be in the ring. We got the storylines. We got guys in gear. We got guys with a physique like Austen G. But we're at the very bottom of that pole. But when you're looking at backyard wrestling, ESW is on top. But when you're looking at the backyard wrestling aspect, I would say that the old days were more extreme. Therefore, in that sense, it was better. But when you're looking at just from where we came from to now, when you're looking at how far we've gotten and where we're headed and what we've achieved and how hard we've worked for what we have now, I would definitely say that today's era is the best because we've made it the best.
You damn sure have. And I can one thing that I noticed that you have that y'all have in ESW compared to a lot of backyard feds, this might upset some people, this might make people open their eyes more. This is a learning curve, is the storytelling. One thing that all your matches, not just your match, but all matches that I've seen in ESW is just tremendous storytelling. And that right there is what makes it so great. You know, storytelling is probably one of the best things that you can have. HCW Backyard Wrestling wants to know, why haven't you started training professionally? I think you can make it, but I think, what do you think?
I know I definitely get that a lot. I get a lot of messages, from just people from all over the world, realistically, and I get a lot of comments on a lot of our YouTube videos that question that, and they ask that. All I gotta say is realistically, and it's just me personally, my heart and soul is with ESW. I am a founding father of it. My brother is Alex G. We are the creators of this show. And I believe that I am a huge asset of this show, not only because of my mic skills, not only because of my in-ring ability or the way that I look, but just writing and creative. If I were to give all of that up to be selfish and just try to go to Japan or try to go to AEW or just try to go somewhere else, I wouldn't feel right, because this is my home. And I love wrestling. I don't really watch too much. I really don't. I don't watch too much wrestling anymore. I just enjoy the sport because I'm a dramatic person. I love to act. I love to get in the ring and I love to perform. And that goes beyond just the in-ring ability. I love to tell a story because it's so good when it's put together. You look at season 3, I created the new, and I went against my brother in a brother versus brother tell-all. In season 4, I had a girlfriend and Blake Pierce speared her. And I had no choice but to beat him senseless. Season 5, I was getting married and Cody Rex kissed the bride on the lips and I didn't. Season 6, first ever casket match with Osiris, and there was a story to tell. Season 7, me and Jacob, my best friend, going at it, and I turned heel on that some gun. And so there's no matter whether I'm going for the championship or not, there's always a story to be told. And today's wrestling, when you're looking at on TV, there's not a lot of that, unless it's WWE. But there really isn't a lot of storytelling that's going on anymore. And that to me turns me on and drives me to do this. But the main reason why I would never even attempt to go pro is, one, because I'm older now. If it was Austen G 2017, I'm pretty sure it'd be a little different. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm 27. Yeah. But I don't think about that too much, only because I just absolutely love where I'm at. And it's not because I'm a top dog. A lot of people have said that maybe I'm just a shark in a small pool here. And if I jump ship, I'll be a small fish in a big ocean. And maybe that is harsh. I mean, it is true. That is a fact. I mean, Austen G means nothing to the actual professional wrestling world, but that doesn't fear me. It doesn't, drive me away. Like I said, my biggest concern in life is ESW, because I created it, I write for it, I'm the best in it, and that's just the way that it's meant to be. And I'm going to accept that.
Awesome. That's amazing, dude. Tennessee Backyard Wrestling saying hello. Respect to both of you.
Yeah.
To you. Austen G, I'm sure you are aware of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. They're climbing up the ranks and they're just having fun, kind of doing the same thing, just telling stories. They got a legit ring now. It's a 16 by 16.
I saw that. I love their set where they walk out from. I love that. Yeah, they got the flags and everything up there, I believe.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think they got a new stage setting up for their season 8. So I don't know though. But hey, anything can happen. So, but that's beside the point. It's the fact that you're here and that I appreciate. Austen G, though, the character, the world's heavyweight champion. You had your run-in with Prodigy, saw the match. I can't talk about a whole lot because I'm still watching. I'm still on top of it. But what is actually going to happen next with that championship? You're going to go into your next season, Shockwave. You're going to make it bigger and better than ever. And you're going to defend. That's an Admiral champion. Is defend it every single night. That's what you're wanting to do. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. One of our oldest seasons, and I believe that it was definitely one of the best. And I'm going to sound a little biased here. I'm going to sound like a piece of shit here, but that's okay, because that's exactly what Austen G is. But one of the greatest seasons that we've had was season 2. And the reason why I like season 2 the most is because we had the uprising superstar Cody Rex in a massive storyline against me. And the whole season, I was the world champion. Every episode, I was putting it on the line, and it was just awesome. You had a fighting champion who looks like a champion, who can shut you up not only with his looks or the mic, but in the ring. And I believe that that is the key elements to this show, is it doesn't have to be me. But as long as you can look good, you can wrestle good, and you can speak good, and you have the three elements in order to succeed. I mean, you don't need all three to be successful. But if you have all three, you will be, you know? And I believe that because I'm blessed and I've trained and practiced so hard to achieve all three, I am the best. Clearly, I'm the world's champion. I am the best. And I plan, like you said, to defend every single episode, every single night. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to defend it. And no matter who comes my way, whether it be Jacob, whether it be a fast rising star, maybe someone like Trey Savior, Trent Mathers, maybe somebody new, you know, maybe an old face might return. You know, maybe we got guys like Blake Pierce. You know, we got so many options that are in front of me, so many hurdles. But I'm a jumper, big dog. And I'm going to jump over them. I'm going to run through them. I'm going to beat the brakes off of them because that's just what I do. So when you say that this is possibly going to be the biggest and baddest and greatest season of all time, I agree. That is an understatement, my friend, because Austen G, as long as he's on top, and the views prove it, baby, the show will remain on top.
That's all that matters, you know. Do you feel any type of competition seeing these other backyard industries, these other backyard companies that are here on YouTube that are kind of climbing the ranks, kind of like Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, or maybe companies like ROEW or IMF Wrestling, just to name a few? Do you see these companies at all? Do you kind of watch the competition? Do you see it as competition? Or what's your thought on these other companies out of curiosity?
I mean, realistically, in a small sense, it is competition. And I'm not saying a small sense because we're ESW, we're just the biggest and the baddest. You know, the backyard wrestling community, it's nothing but love. A lot of the people like Jack Delta, they want to travel. They want to, you know, outgo and wrestle for every single company of every single state because that brings them joy. Backyard wrestling is a different breed. You know, there's like you said, there's the extremeness, there's the raunchiness, there's women getting speared, there's people going through fire and thumbtacks, there's storytelling. It is literally not for the weak-hearted, for one, but that's what this world needs, you know? So, yes, I do see some as competition. You know, of course, not, you know, we're miles ahead, but it's because we've had the luxury of just our promo packages are edited just out of this world, you know, just the packages are so well put together. The storylines that are written are movie-like, so cinematic. They're so good. And then the ring, of course, helps. You have the section of the guys who are willing to go crazy extreme. You got Austen G taking a weed whacker. Then, you know, you got the guys who are strictly guys, you know, and as long as you can, you know, provide every element, we're going to remain the top horse. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I really sincerely don't. I really, really appreciate all these upcoming, you know, businesses. They're coming up high, and you're absolutely right. They are climbing up, and I'm proud. Don't get me wrong. I watch. I do tune in every now and then just to see what the hell's going on in the backyard wrestling world because it's important to do that. But to say that they're competition, I don't like to use that word because I'm pretty sure if any of those companies got the call and said, hey, come and wrestle with us, they'd jump on board. Just like possibly we would do the same. So I think there's a lot of just love in the backyard wrestling community. But
respect.
That there could be competition. And as long as there's no malice in the hearts, then it will never be a competitive thing because everybody watches everybody's thing.
Yeah, the good guy CJ Black from ROEW. He's the ROEW World's Heavyweight Champion himself. He says, from what I hear from Delta, that Texas heat and ground ain't no joke. So more respect to all of y'all for those crazy bumps. Yes, because I was born and raised in Texas. I grew up about 60 miles north of Austin, and I know y'all are down there somewhere, San Antonio, I think. So, yeah. But I know all about that Texas heat. I loved it. So I miss it sometimes, but then I don't miss it.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely a factor. You know, I train cardio every single day. And when you're wrestling in February in the ring, when you're wrestling in December in the ring, I mean, I can go 45 minutes easy. But when training cardio so hard, and that goes with, Stairmaster, running, sprinting, swimming, everything that I do in my week. When you're wrestling in July and it's 103 degrees,
Yeah.
and that'll kill you. You'll cramp up quickly. And sometimes the worst thing is when you're in the dead center of the ring and you're selling, and I wrestle shirtless and you're just cooking on that mat, and that the ground is hot. The actual ground is hot, but you got to take note. We're not indoors, just like most backyard wrestling fans. We're right under that hot sun. And in Texas, it ain't no joke. So the last thing I want to get sunburned. I get darker, believe it or not. And it's definitely no joke. It's a good comment.
Well, you got a few questions here. One is, when is season 8 coming out?
Well, season 8 is going to start off hot. We are going to start off with the Texas Slobber Knocker, which is where 10 individuals are going to surround the ring, and every single person drew a number randomly, 1 through 10. 2 men start. Soon as somebody gets eliminated or defeated, pinfall, they can get tapped out, KO'd, whatever. Whoever randomly drew number 3 surrounding the ring slides in, and the match continues until all 10 participants have entered, and the winner, like I told you earlier, the winner will be the ESW Shockwave World's Heavyweight Champion. So just like that, the champion, first things first. It's not even episode 1. It's a precursor. The Texas-sized slobber knocker is 10 men going for my championship. And if that's not championship material enough, well, then you got your head up your ass, So I believe that we're going to start. It's looking like mid-March. Because you got to remember, the last thing we want to do, we spend so much time on the production. We spend so much time on the editing. We spend so much time on the writing that we can't be filming, then the next day air. We can't, it's not how this business works, and maybe some other businesses work the same way. I don't know, because that's kind of an insider thing. We need the whole season laid out in front of us, on camera, edited, prepared, ready to rock, commentary, every single aspect before we start airing. I know that doesn't really sit well with a lot of people, but it's just the way that it works for us. Because, like I said, we spend so much time on the production. It takes longer to edit and put the video together with the packages, the commentary, the editing, the promos, the backstage segments, the interviews, the in-ring work, and every single thing. That we need everything to be prepared. So I believe that, from my understanding, we're looking at next month. No matter what, next month, that Texas Slobber Knocker will be released. And then from there, every single Saturday after, ESW Shockwave Season 8 will give you a brand new episode to see.
That's going to be awesome. Think about it, though. It's because you're on YouTube, and the quality of your videos is what makes it transcend. Also, it's not just you got the name, you've got a following, but they expect now, the fans are clamoring for that type of quality of matchups that you do, and the quality of the production and everything that y'all put together. And that's what makes ESW so appealing to me and to a lot of other people definitely watching, for sure. I've got a few questions I'm going to ask you here shortly, but it seems these fans are just wanting to ask you all types of stuff. So here's one right here from Titan. He's saying Jack Delta versus Austen G, maybe, question mark? What's your opinion on Jack Delta, if you have one? Or do you think we could see a matchup like that?
I mean, look, there's no way in hell I'm going to go after chasing after Jack Delta. And that's just an honest fact. Jack Delta is in my eyes, he's not in the realm of Austen G. You can go ahead and travel. You can go ahead and wrestle for 87 companies, whatever the hell you claim. You can hold all the championships you want. But being an 8-time world champion for the biggest backyard wrestling company in the world should speak loud enough for itself. All I got to say is, for Jack Delta, if he ever wants to come back to Texas and ever wants to come back into ESW for a night or two, or for a season, or just for 5 minutes, I wouldn't mind knocking the teeth out of Jack Delta. I really sincerely, I'll beat the brakes off that kid any day of the week, and I'm being honest. Jack Delta, he's good in the ring, but honestly, I don't know all the hypes about. Because when I look at Jack Delta, I just see another guy that I'm going to just trample through, So whenever Jack Delta was here, he was able to go ahead and pick his poison. He was able to feel the land. And it turned out that it was just him and Jacob Prodigy. Great match. A lot of talent in that ring. But I think it would be a little bit different if Jack Delta was in the ring with Austen G. Would I ever wrestle him? Yes. Would I beat his ass? Yes. But am I going to go begging him and calling him out on social media? Absolutely not, because that will get me in views nowhere.
Yeah. Understandable. Respect that. I think you and me kind of have something in common about I don't understand the hype, but hey, it is what it is. And CJ Black agrees with you. Jack Delta, he's got the mad faces. Dean Morris says James Taylor versus Austin G. I didn't ask it. That's what Dean Morris is asking. I
I
don't know
don't
if you've watched any of my stuff yet, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't see why not. You know, the last thing that I want people to think, and most importantly, what I want everybody here to understand is that Austin G isn't afraid of any challenge. You know, I do firmly believe the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I am not afraid of anybody bigger than me, older than me, younger than me, smaller than me, faster than me, more extreme than me. Because if you've ever seen any Austin G, you know he's willing to get extreme. If you've ever seen any Austin G, you know he's putting the hurt on guys like Jinx Master, if you know who that is, or guys like The Doctor, if you know who that is. We're talking 6-foot guys, taller than that, 250, 300 pounds who do nothing but destruction and glass and tacks and lights and fire. And if I can get in the ring with them and I can tear the house down and still walk out victorious, well, then that should go to show that it doesn't matter who it is, any point of the world where they're from. Austin G will never back down from a challenge, and Austin G will always be willing to put the ESW Shotgun Championship on the line.
Damn right. You're damn right. And I respect that. I respect that a lot. It wouldn't matter to me win, lose, or draw. I'd say I'd love to have the match myself because I think, honestly, if I got the opportunity to step into the ring with you, if you weren't too busy, I think we'd tear the house down for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, you never know. Never say never. Let's see. I like the title. Do what?
Never say never.
Never say never. It's the three famous words in this business. Owen Black saying, I like the title now, but the old ESW title that was shaped from the ECW TV title holds a dear place in my heart.
Yeah, you know, I agree. This one was customly made. Definitely paid a pretty penny for it. It's definitely was time for change. That title, this title here, you know, it's been through the mill. You know, we've actually had this championship since I believe 2011 is when it debuted in ESW. Nice. And although it's had a whole redesign and it's been, you know, completely modified and changed up a little bit, it was definitely time for a change. I mean, like I said, it was there in 2011. It from the backyard days. It was there for the reunion. It was there for your backyard to the ring when we first ever made our appearance in the ring, and then Shockwave. You know, it's been through the mill. It's definitely an iconic championship. Guys of all walks of life in our business have held that championship, from old school Giddens, I mean, Wicked J, PO3, Cody Rex, Alex G, Osiris, yours truly, Austin G. But now that we got the new model, it definitely has a better shine to it. Definitely has a better glare. There we go. Yeah. It's a lot better. It's a lot easier on the eyes, and I do appreciate. It really is a nice touch to the new ESW.
It looks good on you too, for sure. Damn sure looks good. Mr. Boogeyman says, "I know one thing for sure. I want to be a part of that Extreme Battle Royal."
Yeah, you know, I mean, so we got the Texas Size Slobber Knocker, which I know that's not what he's talking about, but that's 10 men. It's very similar to the Extreme Rumble. You draw a number and then you go in as soon as the match before you ends. But yeah, the Extreme Rumble, 20 men. I would like to say 20 men. Hell, the more the merrier. Every single person will draw a random number, and every 90 seconds, a new man will enter the ring. And the only way to eliminate anybody is to throw him over the top rope, and the last man standing will get a shot against Austen G for the ESW Shockwave World Heavyweight Championship in Season 9. So we're already preparing for the future. We're already looking forward to something, because all these guys all season long, they're going to work hard for the same goal, and that is to enter that Rumble, that is to come out victorious, and to go against me.
Yeah. So you're very confident in your ability that you're going to hold on to that title for this whole season 8. Is that what you're saying to the world, and that's everybody watching?
I do believe that. You know, I believe that no matter if it's a fatal 4-way, if it's an Extreme 5, if it's a ladder match, if it's a last man standing, street fight, non-sanctioned, it doesn't really matter what it is, because I can already tell you what the outcome is going to be. Austin G is going to walk out the World's Heavyweight Champion in the beginning of Season 8, and he's going to walk out still the ESW Shockwave World's Heavyweight Champion Season 9.
There you go. Hell yeah. They like to hear that. The CEO and owner of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, Joshua Allen, says, "Evening, gents." So he's saying hello. He sees you right there. D'Angelo LaFlame, good guy that I know. He's wanting to know, Mr. Austin G, are y'all looking for talent?
If you're
He's
willing to
actually
come
a free
down,
agent. He's a free agent in the backyard community.
willing to come down for a little ESW shockwave, by all means. We're never going to turn down talent, but we're not one to beg, we're not one to plead, and depending on who you are, I can't promise any sort of payment. Jack Delta is the type of guy who just comes free willing because he wants to be here, he wants to wrestle. We've had so many people come in and say, hey, we had a lot of no names come up to us and say, hey, I'll wrestle, but you're going to pay me $300. And that's not how this is going to work.
That's not how it works in the backyard world. Come on now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what the amount of money it is. It's just ridiculous. If we all wanted to make the money, we'd actually go for bigger, better things, like the professional world, But no, we're always looking for talent. We're always willing to get in the ring and kick some ass. I know I am. It doesn't matter who you are, and I'll beat the brakes off you. But yeah, so if you're looking for any sort of compensation, if you're looking for anything like that, you're definitely looking in the wrong area. I don't know who you are, if you were somebody that I knew of, possibly, but I'm Austen G, and everybody knows that.
and that's definitely great right there. You got a few guys fighting over who would want to fight you. The good guy saying, if we're being real, CJ Black versus Austen G would do numbers, but then Titan came right behind him and said, no, let's be honest, Austen G versus the Hardcore King, Atomic Titan would sell numbers. 90 viewers strong at season finale live chat and over 7,000 views. I'm the draw of TBW. Joshua Allen decided to jump in and say, you used to be the draw. So while they're fighting back and forth over you, what do you think about all that? I think you know what? Let me go. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me go to a question that would lead to you answering that even better. You've watched, maybe not competition, but you see the other backyard industries coming up, backyard community, because in a way, we're all one. We're all in this for the same reason. We fucking love it, right? So here's the thing. Do you ever see in these other companies, is there any names that you would like, man, I like that guy, I would like to have a match with him one day? Is there any possible Austen G dream matches that Austen G would probably like to have? If not, no biggie, just curious.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. That's actually a really, 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 really good question. Let me just start with saying that all the guys that are fighting over me, hell, I'm like Oprah Winfrey in this bitch. You get a match. You get a match. You get a match. Anybody can get it. If anybody really sincerely wants to get their ass kicked, hey, by all means, Austen G will throw a grenade to any direction that you want to come. That's fine with me. Oh, God, you do not have to ask me twice. But sincerely, I don't know, like these guys are saying that they're fighting about, and they're fighting for all the right reasons. They're all talking about who's the draw, because that's where the marquee numbers come in. That's where the draw really comes in. Who draws the most attraction? Who has the most comments? Who, when their match is on, whose live feed has the most views while that match is on? Who gets that attraction? Any top dog in any corporation, I would absolutely love to get in the ring with. Any of those guys right there who are talking, I would absolutely never hesitate ever to get into the ring with any of them. So do I have any names? Unfortunately, no, but I'll tell you why. And the reason why is because, like I said earlier, I am not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid to get in the ring, but I love the business aspect that these guys have. A lot of these companies don't have it, but I can see that these guys have it. Or sometimes it's not even the company, it's just the individuals who are in the company. Some people don't care, they just want to get out there and kick some ass. Some people care about the numbers, so they come up with catchphrases and slogans. They come up with the hand signals. They come up with the flashy finishing move. They come up with the theme music that's out of this world and suits them perfectly. Those are the guys that Austen G wants to work with. Those are the guys that Austen G wants to face. The guys who are looking to better the show by adding and producing more entertainment for more views. I would love to get in the ring with you.
You're speaking right up my alley, because that's one thing I love to do. So like I said, it wouldn't matter win, lose, or draw. If I ever came down there, if you gave me the opportunity, I'd love to bring in some numbers, because right now you're on my channel, and that I respect you and appreciate you for. I'm honored to have you here. Now, it might not be conglomerate right now, 8 viewers at the moment, probably because of the time of night. It's a Tuesday night. You know how it works. But nonetheless, 40,000 subscribers on this channel alone will eventually come to this video, and they will see this, and everybody will know ESW. And I'm definitely going to put the plug down in the description below so they could check you out later and follow you on Instagram as well. But
Awesome.
I would bring as many viewers and all that stuff that I could to ESW, my following that I've got, because I love this business more than anything. And all I love to do is tell a story, get in the ring, and kick ass. And I'm free. So I'm an open talent, and I'm absolutely free. Anything can happen with that. So your thoughts on what I just said?
Never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never. Hey, you're a free agent. You're down to travel. You're down to roll. There's absolutely no reason on this guy Green Earth why we don't just do it and book it. You know. But no, other than that, I think everything you're saying is absolutely true. I like how you said that we're on the same page of a lot of this and a lot of the aspects of the business of itself. So I respect that. But I'm always ready to roll. You just say the word, and we can always keep in contact. And I do appreciate you going ahead and shouting me out on my Instagram. Please shout out the ESW Shockwave YouTube page and Instagram as well. I don't know if you're familiar that ESW has a Shockwave Instagram as well.
Okay, yes, definitely.
I really do appreciate that. I'm not too worried about how you said there's only 8 or less or more. It'll fluctuate, but it is a Tuesday night. I get it. And I also do blown away by the fact of how many fucking subscribers you have. That's actually very, very impressive. So congrats to that. Austen G, give you a little round of applause there. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's get some viewership, man. Let's go ahead and work together. Let's pump this thing up.
I'm totally on board for it for sure. Now, Mr. Omen Black decided he wanted to say, I'll do ESW a favor and come down for free. It's the least I can since I will win that damn Rumble. Ooh, strong words from what he says. He's the boogeyman of the Midwest, Mr. Austen G.
The boogeyman of the Midwest.
That's what he calls himself. And he calls himself the king of the death match.
There's no middle. You're either from the West or you're not. So I'm not gonna take anything you're saying seriously, boogeyman. Okay. Let me tell you what. Anytime I look under my bed, I'll kick the ass of any boogeyman that's there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter the shape or the size. I can tell that you got a little shape on a circle, and I can tell by the size that you ain't small. But that's just okay. That's A-okay. That's all right with me. Because like I said, there'll be 20 individuals in the Extreme Rumble match or more, and the one man. Whether he's number 1, he could draw number 5, he could draw number 15. Hell, he could be the final entrant. It's anybody's ball game. We've seen miracles happen, and we've been let down, and we've seen dreams come true. But let me just say this: if you want to go ahead and talk big, you want to talk shop. Well, look, we can always, meet up. We can always maybe exchange information and maybe settle some dates, and we can always figure out from there. Never say never. The sky's the limit. But let me tell you right now, ESW Shockwave isn't like any other business you've ever wrestled with before. Right. ESW Shockwave is built different. This is like football. You're going to go out there and you're going to get hurt. You're going to go out there and you're going to get tackled. But you're going to tackle, but you're going to score a couple touchdowns. You know? So I'm not questioning any other federation that does the same thing, but it's just ESW, for a fact, is built different. And I believe that our following shows that.
You're damn right. And one thing I'm curious about the actual details of is the ring. Is it a 20 by 20 ring?
It is a 20 by 20 ring. It is like about 2 tons. It's literally about 3,500 pounds, almost at 2 tons. So when we're hauling that thing to do our live events, when we're hauling to switch locations, setting it up is it's not tricky, but it's really, really heavy, So it's very durable. It ain't going anywhere. But yeah, it is an actual pro ring, 20 by 20. And it's awesome being up there. I mean, it's like 3 feet high or more. Yeah. When you're in that ring, man, you feel like
you feel alive a bit. Yeah, it's a WWE style ring. I've been in a 20 by 20 ring a couple of times, but I'm really used to the TBW style, which is 16 by 16. But I love a 20 by 20, especially because I got more leg room in there.
That's true.
Hell yeah. Titan wants to say, hey, just being honest, we're kind of similar. Both the golden boy of our brand, 6-time world champion. I would come for free just for the experience.
You see, I love that. I love that Austen G issues a challenge. Austen G, makes a simple comment, and then they all come flocking in. If Austen G is calling you out, if Austen G, the 8-time current world heavyweight champion of ESW Shockwave, is throwing out positions and throwing out opportunities, well, then you will be dumb to not jump on that. So I love the fact that everybody's willing to come for free for the experience. I love the fact that everybody's willing to get inside of the ring for no cost other than the cost of the experience, because that fuels them enough. I absolutely love that. There was no reason in hell why I would ever turn down a match with the Atomic. All right, let's do that.
There you go, for sure. And then now you got the good guy who's very conceited. So stop describing me. I'm blushing. That's an interesting tale of events. I'd love to see a promo battle between you two. That guy, he's just he's very arrogant. He's a smart ass. There's a fun fact for you, Mr. Austen G. And then Omen Black says, I'll find you on IG. And Omen, dude, it's real simple. Check it out right there. Be sure to go subscribe to ESW Wrestling or Shockwave. Follow Austen G on Instagram. It's just how it is. I think it's Austin_G. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe Austin_G. That might be ESW in it. I'm not sure. But my pictures of me in the pool with, poolside, baby. I got the pink chunks on. I got the world's title with me. Oh, man. What I wanted, man, the whole celebration was just out of this world, because even though, it's a show, you work hard to get what you get, and that's just an honest fact. A lot of people could be mad that Austen G is champion again. Oh my God, Austen G again. Well, no. He's easy on the eyes, and he goes out there, he kicks ass, and he entertains. So there should be nobody in the world who was mad other than Jacob Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? There should be nobody in the world
I'll tell you what, yeah.
But I went out there, I got what I deserved. I earned it from the hard work put in the ring and outside of the ring, and it goes beyond just setting up and taking down. You got to work out in that gym. You got to hit the gym. You have to eat right. You got to take care of yourself. You want to go out there and you want to be able to wrestle in the decade from 2000 to 2010. You want to wrestle in the decade of 2010 to 2020. You want to wrestle in the decade of 2020 to 2020 to 2030. I've been wrestling for 3 separate decades, not 30 years, but in 3 separate decades. And it has a lot to do with how you treat yourself outside of the ring. Be confident. Tell yourself you're the best, because you are the best. I'm looking at my video here, so I'm talking to myself. I am the best. So as long as you can keep that mindset up, as long as you can eat right, I'm not saying don't enjoy your favorite food. I'm just saying everything comes with a price. Hit the gym, help set up, help take down, stay extra to help film, stay extra to give pointers. That's what I do. I take care of the future talent, because in 5 years, who knows where Austen G is going to be? I'm not predicting anything, because I plan on kicking ass for, another 20 if I can. But You never know. So it's always good to not just worry about yourself. Take care of the other talent. Issue challenges. Accept challenges. Let people fly out. Kick some ass. Go ahead and morph, businesses together and create something new. I love that.
Yeah. That's passion right there. That's passion. I can't stress that enough. And it's not just me trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything and compliment you. It's like a legitimate fact. And I want my audience to understand that. It's the same thing that I talked about for years. If you don't have the passion for this business, no matter what it is, even going down to breaking down the ring and rebuilding it and putting in the work and training and sacrificing it because you love it that much, then how do you expect to be anywhere? Austin, I hate to tell you, but all I see is I see a lot of young guys that only want to be in this business because all they care about is holding a championship and making themselves relevant. They think a championship will make them the top dog, when that's not the case. It's not the title that makes the superstar. In my eyes, it's the superstar that makes the title. Why else would everybody want to come face you, Austen G, for that title? Because you have a name.
A lot of these guys right now who are saying that they want to come and fly out here, they're not necessarily saying it's for the championship. They're saying because they want the experience and because they just want to just go against me in general. I have had some of the highest profile matches in any season finale without any championship around anybody's waist, because the storytelling is there. And like you said, the hard work. I absolutely hate that fact because it's a fact that a lot of people are only in the show because they want to win. A lot of people only want to come and join the show because they want to hold championships. I have two opinions on that. One of them is strictly the fact that if you don't look the part and you can't roar a crowd and you can't get people to back you up, if you have zero comments, if you have no viewership when your match is on the live feed, if you got nothing, you don't deserve anything. Period. And the reason why you don't have views, the reason why you don't have the comments is not because the guy you're booked against. It's not because of bad booking. It's not because of just the time of the day or the time of the night. No. It has all to do with who you are and how much work you put in. If I looked different, if I had no luscious long hair that I had to take care of, if I had no six-pack and a perfect chiseled body, if I did not work on the mic skills in the shower, if I did not go to the ring twice a week besides with my working out just to get that in-ring work in, and I was not as good as I am, Austen G would be nothing. Austen G would probably not exist. Austen G would be a mid-card. Austen G would be a jobber. Austen G would be nothing. But the other thing, the other side of me, that's like the business side of me. But the real side of me, like the real just me side of me, is people need to understand that although we're physically hurting ourselves, and although, yes, it is an actual sport, I'm not saying it's not real, but it's not real. You know, it really isn't. When you're going out there and you're kicking ass and you're going to get bloody, you're going to make people bloody, you're going to get bruised up. But when the outcome is predetermined, and it really shouldn't matter whether you're winning or losing. Because in that aspect, it's fake. So I don't want people to think, oh, I lost my championship. Now everybody thinks I'm a loser. Or, damn it, I'm not going for gold. So now all my friends in real life think that I'm a loser. No. It's a show. If you want to put on a show, you have to do what's best for business. Austen G had to be the world champion because that's what's best for business. And when Austen G loses the championship, I will gladly give it to whoever I have to pass the torch to because it's what's best for business. Amen. I'm not mad that I have to lose. I'm not mad that I got to drop the championship. And I'm not just saying it because I'm the champion. I had the greatest match of season 4 with Blake Pierce. We opened the finale. Yeah. We opened the finale. We opened the show and stole it right off the bat because that's what happens when you put in the work. I looked the best. The storyline was there. Everything was good. And it really irks me when the guys who come to our show or the guys, I'm sure a lot of these companies have the same type of guy who are only there because they want to win. They're only there because they want the championship. And to me, that's not fair. When there's guys who work absolutely very, very hard. But, you know, you got to also expect and respect the fact that there are some people out there who might hit the gym, who might eat right, who might practice, but they just don't get the views.
Right.
And some people, I'm going to use this guy as an example. I don't know if you're familiar with Wicked J, but Wicked J, he was just the absolute worst in the ring. He was bad. He punched for real. He didn't know how to sell too well. Like he didn't know any moves. He didn't watch wrestling. But he was the all-time biggest star that we've ever had. So that goes to show sometimes it is just a luck of the draw. Sometimes you could just be a piece of shit in real life and you never put in any work and you never train and you don't do anything for anybody but yourself, but you have the most comments and the most views and the fans love you. What do you do then? But then here's this guy who works hard and does anything for anybody for the business, but nobody cares about him.
Right.
It is a gamble, but I think at the end of the night, if you want the viewership, then you'll find a way to get it. And maybe that is a catchphrase. I have the saw. That helps. People do the hashtag Sawmania. People always say saw. You know, it's a thing.
That's your thing.
I had the hand symbol. No one gave that to me, but you need something in order for people to back up and to do and to like you, you know? Yeah. So your catchphrases, your hand symbols, your theme music, it all comes a long way.
It does. Amen. And one thing that I got when I go to the ring that I like is my theme song. I get my fans or anybody that's out there, they actually sing along to my song.
Oh,
I got that type of audience that'll sing along to my music whenever I'm out there, which is pretty cool. I just experienced that for the first time last year. And then, of course, I've got my catchphrase. I don't know if you heard it or not. And I say at the end of all my promos, my delivery is, and that's because there can't be no other way, you know, but I'm yelling at it. It depends on the moment I'm in. And I get people who like to try and use that against me. It's hilarious. It's fun. But, I mean, you're 100% correct on all of that. We got a few little comments right here. I know we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. We're running about 55 minutes. I know you're a very busy man. So Mr. Craven Rage came in and said, "Hello, Mr. Legend James Taylor, and hello, Austen G. I've seen both your guys' work, and I definitely would one day want to face Mr. James Taylor." Well, Rage, anything can happen. Never say never. Atomic Titan said, "Oh man, I just got a new turtleneck in the mail. Can't wait for you to see it." Oh my god. Rage said, "I am always looking for a great match." Joseph Tibbs, what's going on? Rage, also, Mr. Taylor, I definitely will be contacting you on helping me out still on the mic. That's one thing I like to do too with some of this other talent. I like to help guys with their promo skills. I actually, and I haven't told you this, Austin, but I actually run a promo company. It's actually an EFED company, but I help guys with promos who aren't so well on the mic or still learning, because it's called Promo Wrestling Federation. And it's a separate YouTube of my own. And it's an EFED company. I got over 1,200 subscribers alone just on that. And I help guys do promos who can't really, unfortunately, be in the ring if they can't. Some actually wrestle, but some can't. But it's the fact that I'm bringing all these guys together to help them with their mic skills, help them with their promo skills. And it's actually a fun thing. If you want to know more details about it, I'll definitely let you know.
No, that's very interesting. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I'm definitely a great promo cutter. But I cannot believe that you actually do something like that. That's actually very unique. I never heard of anything like it. That's actually pretty inspiring, pretty motivating. Not that I'm going to steal that idea, but I never knew that something like that existed. That is awesome. I'm proud of that. That's good. I really love the humbleness of people when they understand that they might need a little help. There's nothing wrong with needing a little help. You want to be the best? Sometimes you gotta seek a little help. Austen G didn't get to where he was today just by being Austen G. A lot of people have to influence. You got to learn things. In the early days of Austen G, I was learning a lot. I was soaking everything that everybody around me was doing, and look at me now.
I know, dude. You're like $1 million. I mean, literally, you've come a long way. I see the way you were when you first started. You were what, 10 or 11 when you first started this business?
Yeah, I was 12.
There you go, 12, whatever. It's beside the point. I was 14 when I started. Woo! And dude, you've transcended and you've just evolved, and that's what guys like us do. And that's why you've got the charismatic nature that you got. You've got the character that you have, and that's why everybody wants to be you or go against you or face you or just talk to you, because you are what I would call you a major attraction when it comes to backyard wrestling. You think backyard wrestling, and you're one of those names, Austen G. You can take that as you will, but I'm giving you my honest to God thoughts on that. So,
well, I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Sometimes it's a little hard to believe, because you don't always see it. The community is there, but there isn't just like a base of just where all the communities kind of link together and just talk about shop, or fans can come in and just talk about all backyard wrestling. That would actually be a cool thing to have. Maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. But no, I really do appreciate it. I know how big the company is. I know how big I am, but coming from an outside source, coming from somebody as popular as you, I really do appreciate that, and it means the absolute world. So thank you very much.
You're absolutely 120,000% welcome on that. Titan says Austen G is greater than Jacob Prodigy. So it looks like Titan's kind of on you, but he really he says you definitely deserve that title, basically. And that dude, I can't say it enough. That match was really good, and I loved you hit 3 of your moves. What do you call it? The grenade drop?
The grenade.
The grenade, yeah, dude. When you hit it right at the beginning of that match, when he was on that turnbuckle, and out of nowhere, I was just like, "Oh shit, he's going for it." You'll see. I'm gonna send you the link. I think my video should be uploaded by now, but I'm gonna send you the link, and when you get a chance, check it out. Let me know what you think of my commentary on it, my reaction to it. It was really good.
I will, man. I appreciate that.
Definitely. CJ says, hit the nail on the head. You know what? You're officially invited to ROEW to job to the man that won the greatest match in backyard wrestling history. Would you like to retort?
Who's jobbing? I'm going to job? Who's he talking about?
Would you like to retort to Mr. CJ Black, Mr. Austen G? You're more than welcome to if you want.
Well, I don't know who in this equation is the jobber, because I'm telling you right here, right now, that it ain't going to be me. You see, Austen G is a household name for the backyard wrestling world. Anybody who has ever seen any lick of anything backyard wrestling on the internet knows of Austen G and knows about ESW at the very least. And then when you look that up, who's the biggest name, the biggest attraction that pops up? Because I sure as hell isn't Jacob Prodigy. It's me. When you look up backyard wrestling, what pops up? It sure as hell isn't some guy named CJ Black. That's for damn sure. It's Austen G. If anybody's going to be jobbing any day of the week, CJ, JC, black, blue, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, I'll leave you black and blue if that's what you want me to do to you. Is it only takes one. It only takes one grenade to end any match. Jacob Prodigy's a little different, so I guess I shot myself in the foot there. But, let me tell you something, CJ Black. If you ever want to get in the ring with the absolute best, then look no further because I'm right here. I don't know if you're really a good guy or if you're a bad guy. Hell, I could really care less because Austen G is the man. Austen G is the guy. Austen G is the guy who's wrestled names bigger than your ego, who's wrestled men and defeated men who are no longer here today. And that's just an honest fact. Austen G would love to get in the ring with anybody, anytime, anywhere. You go ahead and you name it. CJ Black.
You heard it. You heard it here, ladies and germs. I mean, Austen G just laid down. Basically, I think CJ Black's going to lane in the ring right now for a 1, 2, 3. Who knows? Joseph Tibbs says, would love to have James Taylor and Austen G on Resurrection Pro Wrestling. So that's actually a company that's outside. They work with TBW, but they are in Mississippi, which is across the way from here. So, but hey, never say never, right?
Never say never. Hey, let me just say this. Is that an Umbrella Corporation tattoo you got?
You damn right.
All right. No, I'm a huge fan of the franchise. So I noticed that right off the back. I was like, holy shit. Fuck yeah, dog. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
If you didn't catch on to the name yet, the Nemesis, James Taylor.
All right, cool. I dig it. I just popped.
Yeah.
You made
because
pop.
That's literally me. It's not the fact that sometimes I get credit from a lot of people. You might hear it from some guys, but some people like to say I'm a Stone Cold knockoff, but I don't use anything that Stone Cold does except for the stunner. I might do a Luthez every now and then, but when I talk and I'm delivering my promos, I use what some of my friends in the promo community call my dad voice. I raise my voice when I do my promos because that's just how I am. That's how I was taught. That's how I trained myself. And I'm not using Stone Cold's catchphrases. I'm not asking people to give me a hell yeah. I'm not asking people and telling people, hey, that's the bottom line. I'm not saying what, but I do. I'm just myself. I live vicariously through my character. Because honestly, if you really just looked at James Taylor, you'd get the same guy if you came to my house. I mean, this just is how I am. Taft Taylor, whichever you'd want to call it. And the Nemesis, the motto of my character in all aspects is the fact that I'm unstoppable. Nothing will stop me. As many times as you put me down, what did that monster do in the game? He just kept coming. You could not stop him.
Yeah.
That's me. That's how I roll.
No, you're good. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. But I do want to say one last thing about the promo thing because you're absolutely right. If you can just put a little bit of yourself into it, then you're good. It'll come naturally. Sometimes you gotta raise your voice to give the dad voice. Sometimes you just gotta bring those fucking veins out. You just gotta bring the vein. You gotta. Sometimes everyone brings their own delivery different, and that's the beauty of wrestling. Everybody's different. At least you should strive to be different. Luckily, anyone who's ever said anything about me has always been my appearance. They say I look like Seth Rollins, or they say I look like, something like that. But I've never tried to be. I just have long hair. I've never grown facial hair out. So that's a good thing. Don't mind those people who say anything like that. But promos are very, very important. Like I said, as long as you can, if you can have all three, great. If you can have two of the three, great. If you can at least have one, then at least you got something to work with. If you can look good, if you can talk good, and you be in the ring good, in-ring performances is important. But if you can do all three, great. But if you can at least come out looking like Kane. Kane comes out, looks incredible, but he didn't speak at first, and he wasn't the best in the ring, but he looked like a menacing motherfucker, world champion. You know what I'm saying? And then you got guys like, like Stone Cold, like Cena or The Rock, who got all three abilities. You look good, you speak good, and you're good. Like, oh my God, this guy's the limit. Well, let me just say this, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to make anything fancy about it. I'm just going to say it how it is because it is how it is, and what you're looking at is the truth. Austen G is the 8-time World Heavyweight Champion, and I successfully, all by myself, defeated Jacob Prodigy in the finale of Season 7 at WrestleFest. and I will do it again twice on Sundays, any day of the week, because I don't not fear any man. I don't fear any man, no matter who it is, no matter where they are or how big they are. So go ahead and take that up with your CJ Black. Go ahead and file that down good. Go ahead and instill it deep inside your noggin that I am not afraid of you, never have been, never will be, because this is the first time Austen G, the legendary Austen G, has ever heard of your name, boy. So let me go ahead and end this on a high note. Austen G is going to provide you with the absolute greatest season 8. Austen G is going to provide you with the absolute utmost fun and entertaining show that you have ever seen come season 8. So I hope you're ready for it. The ESW Shockwave World Heavyweight Champion had a lot of fun. So thank you very much, buddy, for letting me on your show. I would love to do this again anytime, any place. So please do that for me. Let's set another date as soon as we can. Thank you for the shout outs. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. What do you have to say? Ending statement, baby.
You're damn right. Hey, you know what? Thank you so much, definitely, for coming on here. And you're more than welcome to come back on the Nemesis sessions anytime you want. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Austen G. Be sure to go subscribe to ESW Wrestling on YouTube if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button for me as well. It definitely helps us out a lot here on the channel to keep this podcast going and keep all things wrestling related on this channel. Tap Space Taylor. I want you definitely to go check out Austen G and get ready for season 8 because it's going to be a banger, I tell you what. And until next time, Austen G, I do thank you once again. And everybody that's watching, we'll catch you down the road and we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you at the next one.